Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host Derek Stevenson, and we coming to you live post game. Kentucky versus Arkansas. Kentucky pulled it off. I'm not even going to sit up here and lie to you. I didn't think Kentucky was getting ready to get this victory. I actually I figured that Cason Wallace wasn't going to play. But I said maybe if he plays, we may have a chance. But it's still going to be tough because we still was going to be limited with Severe Wheeler. And I didn't know if Frederick was going to play. So I was worried no matter what. But I definitely didn't think we could beat Arkansas without Cason. So, man, was this this game was a joy to watch, man. Go Kentucky Wildcats, big dubs. Yeah, definitely. That was an impressive victory. To me, that was more impressive than when we beat Auburn because, number one, we beat them on the road. It was a tough athletic team that had been giving us problems. And don't get it twisted. I still think that Arkansas is capable of beating us. If we was to see them again somehow, I ain't for sure how the SEC tournament seedings are set up right away. I have to check that out, but I definitely could see Arkansas giving us problems again. But man, I was glad to see them get the W. Slim Reaper said, well, that was kind of bizarre. It was, though. Josephtown W, yes. I didn't think that's how I was going to be starting this stream off. I didn't think I was going to be celebrating the W. And it was wild, too, because even after, we was playing well pretty much the whole game, but then when Oscar Tshiebwe fouled out, I said, there it is. I thought it was over, to be honest with you. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. It just seems like when we don't run the offense through Oscar Tshiebwe, for some reason, some of the other guys just play a little bit looser, like guys like Toppin. You know what I'm saying? Toppin stepped up a lot, man. And I'm going to hold on before I get to Antonio Reeves because I already know we got to talk about Reeves. We got to really dive into Antonio Reeves. But Toppin played excellent. Oscar Tshiebwe still gave us 12 points and 13. Oscar was getting busy in the first half, though. I ain't going to lie to you. And we all know Oscar had been getting torched by teams with size and athleticism. Like, he had been getting absolutely destroyed every single time we played a team like that. So, honestly, I thought it was going to happen again today. But Oscar was, Oscar was doing his thing in the first half. He was kind of handicapped a little bit in the second half because of foul trouble, but Oscar was getting busy in the first half, though. Kentucky Wildcats, C-A-T-S, cats, yes. Slim Reaper said almost 90 points with no point guard. That's insane, to be honest with you. They barely can score 90 any other time. I don't even know how many times they've even scored 90 this year. They usually about 65, 70 range, honestly. Compton said, none of us thought we had a chance today, especially with Nick Smith Jr. back and Cason being out. Yeah, and Nick Smith came alive a little bit towards the second half of the second half, actually. The back end of the second half, I'll say that. But in the first half, Nick Smith wasn't really finding his way in the game. So I was kind of like, he ain't really that legit as they said, but then, he started picking it up. So, I can see why he got the hype around him because he's not really polished yet, but he looks like eventually he's going to be nice like that. And he, in the, I don't want to call it garbage time, but, towards the back end when they was kind of playing from a rush and shooting more threes, he picked up a lot then. Josephtown said, bro, I'm so happy for Adu. Yeah, man. Adu, I think Adu is just going through his struggles right now because now he's in the game at a different part. He's playing minutes that are where he's expected to produce now. You know, it's a little different in the beginning of the season when you're getting a couple minutes here and there. You're not really expected to do anything. You know, you playing garbage time sometimes against lesser quality opponents, and now you getting thrown into the thick of things, and we actually are depending on you to basically become the point guard. And it's been a little tough for him, you know. He's still making some mistakes. He still gets lost a little bit on defense every once in a while. You know, he's still making some bad decisions because I don't think he's really sure of what he's trying to do yet. Eventually, when you get to the point where you know you can just look straight ahead and see what's happening, you ain't got to worry about protecting the ball. You know that no matter what defender's in front of you, they're not going to take the ball from you. Once he gets to that point, I think he'll be much better and he'll play more confident. But I think he's starting to actually get a feel for playing in the game now. Same with Collins. Collins got into some foul trouble, but I like some of the things that I seen from Collins. He was hustling. He was making some blocks. He was, you know, scored a couple of baskets. He played solid. He gave us some good minutes. Because you know, like we were saying, Sheway got in foul trouble. So, you know, we had some guys step up where we ain't used to really seeing them. Kentucky Wildcats. I'm gonna get to Reeves. Hang on. I'm gonna get to Reeves. Before I get to Reeves, Slim Reaper, I think CJ did play a little bit in the second half, but it wasn't much though, which was a good thing because it allowed Reeves to, you know, play more minutes. Like I said, just give me 1 second. I want to talk about some things that kind of that they need to clean up first before we get into Reeves though. One of the things that bugs me out is there was a couple of times where I feel like the players get in such a rush that they try to make stuff happen that's obviously just not there. One of the plays was Livingston when he got like a rebound or something. He was at the free throw line and he seen Damian Collins out ahead of the defense, but he didn't really get his hands on the ball firmly enough to make a solid pass. So he kind of just barely had control of it and he just like flung it out as best as he could. And it ended up costing Collins a foul because Collins had to come back and dive for the ball. And I think it was Black. He ended up like diving underneath Black or something like that. And it ended up costing us a turnover and a foul. And I wish that Livingston would have just knew, okay, I just got to secure the ball right here because I don't have an opportunity to make a play. So let me just grab the ball and we just take the rebound and try to get a good possession out of it. And then another one of the plays that just, oh man, it just had me like almost like broke my TV was when it was like actually a crucial point in the game and Lance Ware got the rebound and he looks over. And I think it was Toppin. He looks over at Toppin. He takes a dribble. He looks over at Toppin. He takes a dribble and then throws it. And then Nick Smith just shoots straight through, steals the ball. And I think he went and dunked it at that point or he got fouled or something. I can't remember exactly how it turned out. But I was like, come on, Lance, man. You got the I think that was the one that was after Toppin's block, I think. Yeah, it was right after Toppin's made that crazy two-hand block. And then Lance gets the ball and he's just telegraphing. And I'm like, Lance, it's okay. The play was already made. Toppin already made an excellent defensive play. Just hold the ball, man. Like, just secure the ball and hold it and let Toppins come and take it from you if he has to. Because we had to rely on Toppins to do some of the ball handling because, you know, we needed Reeves and Toppins to do a whole lot of ball handling, but I liked when Toppin had the ball because it was leaving Reeves open to try to work and do some things in the offense. Compton said, Adu held his own today, but I wasn't worried about him running point and playing heavy minutes as I previously have. The fouls in this game were crazy. All right. I'm gonna talk about the fouls before we get to Reeves. I know. I keep putting it off. I'm gonna talk about the fouls, and then we're gonna talk about Reeves. Okay, the fouls in this game was crazy, man. Fortunately for us, though, Arkansas was a garbage free throw shooting team. So with all of these fouls being called, it was actually helpful to us. Even though it fouled out Oscar, I think it fouled out Collins, right? He fouled out too, right? And I think it was a couple other people in foul trouble. Reeves was in foul trouble. I think Livingston was in foul trouble. So it was way too many fouls called. But according to what some of the announcers were saying, Arkansas just plays like it's like every time they play, they just play so hard. See, the thing about Arkansas is the style of play that Arkansas has, Arkansas runs all the time. They just, I ain't going to say they out of control. They not really out of control, but they just run. They shoot up and down the court. So when you got that much constant transitioning going on, I think that's where they get so many fouls called. But they play so aggressive on defense. They play the same way on defense as they do on offense. They just run at players. They really handsy. A lot of times when you drive the ball, they put hands on you and then they just be like, what's going on? But they are super physical and super handsy, and they always like trying to get all the way up in you. They don't never really try to lay back off of you. So it was a whole lot of crazy calls. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I thought Oscar was getting ejected that first little situation that he had happen. And see, this is the thing that I hope, because see, I think a lot of the knock on this team is that this Kentucky team is soft. So I feel like a lot of people, and maybe even the coaching staff, when they scout in Kentucky, they probably say, man, some of these dudes is soft. If you just get a little physical with them, they'll fold. And so I think that's why a lot of people be trying Oscar. They probably know he's a preacher. They know he's a good dude. So they probably feel like they can do certain things to him, and it's only going to be but so far that he won't cross the line. I'll say like that. But the thing, like, I don't want Oscar to ignore what's happening to him. I don't want him to play soft. But what I want him to do is I want him to be careful with how he retaliates or how he responds, I'll say. Because when that first situation happened, he was getting pushed in the back. I think it was actually Dakari Johnson's little brother, they said, but he had both hands up like this, and he was just leaning into Oscar's back. And I don't have a problem with Oscar. What Oscar gets caught is a lot of the times he like tries to like sling guys off of him, but from where he's so big and strong and he's doing this, it looks like a swat. So it looks like he's striking at the players. And then a lot of the times they pushing him so they lower than his like elbows. So it looks like he's throwing elbows at the people. And, he hits some of them in the face, and he's just got to be careful, because honestly, if I'm not being biased and I'm just being honest with you, if I was refereeing that situation, I would have probably been like, we probably got to throw him out off of this, because he did slap dude in the face, even though dude was pushing him in the back. So I definitely think he got to be careful with that. Now, the other guy that got thrown out for Arkansas, man, Arkansas just kind of had some players lose their cool. And the thing is, when he, I think when he got that foul called on him, I think that was a legitimate foul. Slim Reaper said he keeps his hands too high. Yeah, that's what I think it is too. Lakers J said Oscar should have definitely been tossed. Yeah, Joseph Town said elbow to the face. Yeah, it's like I'm glad that he didn't get tossed, because he was killing in the first half, but he should have been out of there. We gotta just be honest about that. He should have been gone. But back to the other situation with Antonio Reeves, when things got a little heated, you know what I'm saying? I think he was fouling Antonio Reeves. Like, he had his hands like up on him, like, and he thought he was playing good D, and then he's like doing all this and yelling and all that, and he hurt his team with all of that emotional outburst that he did. But fortunately, that was for our benefit. it was a tough game for the referees. I know it was because it was so much fouling going on both sides, and they missed so many calls. But they missed them on both sides, though. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like that they had all bad calls against Kentucky. They missed calls on both sides all the time, man. So it definitely was a lot of fouling. It was a lot of missed calls. It was a poorly officiated game, but I think a lot of it just comes from the fact that it was so fast paced. It was just running. It was so many shots being thrown up. It was people like everybody was playing hard. Like everybody was flying around trying to get the ball. And then it's just like it's so much size on the court because if you really think about it, it wasn't really no small players playing in today's game. Everybody got some decent size that was playing today. So it was a bunch of tall, athletic dudes going crazy all over the court. So, I think it was a tough game for them to officiate. And I think they did the best they could. But they did do a poor job, I will say. But I think it was fair. I think they did a poor job against both teams. And fortunately for us, we hit our free throws, so it worked out for us. Unfortunately for Arkansas, they don't hit free throws, so that was great for us. Rush said, so proud of our bench, did great. They got more experience in playing time. Go Cats. I'm proud of each one who played. Yeah, I was definitely, proud of them boys. Nobody really played bad. Nobody really hurt us. Nobody really came out there and gave us terrible minutes. Everybody came out there and did a little bit of something. It was a solid collective effort. Everybody chipped in a little bit here and there. CJ Frederick didn't really do nothing great. Laker J24 says CJ got to step up, shake my head. Everyone else is improving. Yeah, CJ didn't really hurt us today, but he didn't really do anything, But everybody else kind of chipped in a little bit. But I'll still give CJ credit because he didn't really get killed on defense. So I give him a little bit of credit. You know what I'm saying? Laker J said, and Toppin with them step back threes. Yes, Toppin was in his bag today. I think Toppin this is the thing that frustrates me with Toppin though, is Toppin got, let's be honest, Toppin should be a lottery pick in the draft, but Toppin just kind of has a laid back personality where he just don't play like that every single game. If he played that aggressive, and if he was just had it in his head, like, I'm just going to shoot it and I'm going to just give buckets to whoever I'm playing against. For some reason, I feel like in certain games like that, when he's asked to step up and be aggressive and he feels like confident that he can just make plays off the dribble or shoot step back threes and Cal's going to roll with him, I think he plays so much better. So, I definitely loved what Toppin was doing, man. Toppin definitely came to play, and he made some big plays on both sides of the ball. Couldn't have won the game without him. All right, Joseph. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about Laker J. Hold on, Joseph. I gotta talk about one more thing that J24 just brought up. Calipari with the zone defense, right? Now, we gotta acknowledge that Cal actually made an adjustment. He actually put his pride to the side. He put his offense and his defense in his back pocket today, and he specifically did what was best to win this game. Obviously, it was going to the zone because Arkansas just doesn't shoot that well. I loved seeing them actually play the zone. They didn't play it bad at all. They looked like they had been playing it all year. They looked comfortable. Everybody was kind of in the right positions. I didn't really see them get broke down too many times or leave too many open areas. They played the zone really well, and it was super effective against Arkansas. And if we end up seeing Arkansas again, we got to go back to the zone no matter if we 100% healthy or not. It just is necessary to beat Arkansas with all of those athletes. So I definitely want to shout out Coach Calipari for making the adjustments, and shout out to the players for adjusting and being able to go with the flow on the court and play high-level defense, even though that's not what they used to playing. Now, let's get to our boy Antonio Reeves. 37. And man, I really wanted to see him get a 40 ball. I'm not going to lie to you. Most importantly, I wanted us to win. So don't get it twisted. Like, I wanted us to get the victory more than anything. But I really wish he would have got 3 more buckets. I really wanted him to get the 40 piece. But man, he was all the way in his bag today. And it just took him a while, but I think he's finally figured out how to play at this level, how to play against better athletes, how to, just play Power 5 basketball. Like we've been saying all year long, where's he been at? And he gave us glimpses of this in the summer when he was playing against the low-level competition. He looked the same way he did against mid-major. He just looked like a killer. Like, he looked like every time he shot the ball, he was probably going to hit. He looked like he just looked confident, looked like he knew what he was doing. And then we slowly seen him just turn into garbage. Like, he went from looking like a world beater to looking like he should be on the bench. And fortunately, if it wasn't for the injuries, he might have not have got this opportunity to really come into his own, because if C.J. Frederick wouldn't have got hurt, Cal was definitely leaning towards C.J. Frederick on the court, which obviously we all know would have been a mistake. But man, has he figured it out now. And now his confidence is just through the roof. And it just, now I feel like every time he get a quality look, I feel like he's going to score. And now, not even only do I feel like he's going to score when he's open, I feel like he can make a little something happen even when he's not necessarily open. I feel like that pick and roll, he's getting back to the way he was at his Northern Illinois. He if you go back and watch his clips at Northern Illinois, he always really looked like he looked real comfortable and looked real sure doing pick and roll offense. So I was hoping he was going to get to to utilize that part of his game often at Kentucky. And I think now Calipari is giving him the confidence, like, go on and get the ball wherever you want it at. If you want it on the left wing, right wing, or at the top of the key, call for the ball screen. And you either can go around it. If they come underneath the screen, shoot the 3. If they chase you around, take 1 or 2 dribbles and shoot the floater. Or if it's wide open, go to the basket. But man, he was on point with his floaters today. He pretty much made the best decisions that I've seen him make all year. He didn't really have too many stupid turnovers, because even in the majority of the other games where he played well, where he scored over 20, he had 1 or 2 blunder-headed like turnovers or mistakes that was wild. But this game, he was pretty solid on both ends of the court. He was pretty solid with his ball handling. He was focused. He was locked in. It seemed like he was always aware of the moment. He was always paying attention to what was going on. And he was money. I mean, he was on fire. If he got an open look today, it was a wrap. And he read the defense well. He made the right decision every time he was in the pick and roll. Like, he just knew, like, if you chasing me around, I'm going to just take 1 or 2 dribbles and just hit this little floater on you. He was pretty much a force. He was an unstoppable force out there. So I was super excited. Joseph Town said, call me crazy, but I see a little bit of Jamal Murray in Reeves. The only thing that's different is Jamal Murray has extreme confidence that never goes away. As far as skill set, I think Jamal Murray is a little bit better ball handler than Reeves, but as far as like shooting when they open, Reeves is definitely as good of a shooter as Murray. Hopefully his confidence will just keep getting higher. And, once he gets used to doing some more off the dribble, I think he could be a 20-point scorer every game from here on out as far as we go. I don't know how many games we got left. I don't know if we got 1 or 2 games left. I don't know. But I say we probably at least got 2 games left, right? So surely we back in the tournament. I don't know what seed we're going to be, but we got We got the double bye in the SEC tournament, so we should get a few days to rest, few days to heal some guys up. Hopefully, we can get at least Kaysen ready to go. I don't know what's up with Severe, but hopefully we can at least get Kaysen. Definitely, I think, Reeves will be good to go either way. I think he should probably be able to, play something similar to this at least a couple more times for us. Question everything, huge win. Absolutely, yes. I didn't think we was going to do it. I didn't. I thought it was a possibility that we would get blown out the gym, to be honest with you, because Arkansas is just so athletic, man. Arkansas doesn't have a lot of polished ball players, but they got size at every position. They really don't play nobody that's small, and they got dudes that's physically developed on top of being big. They got a couple guys that's sort of slim, but most of them guys is decently big guys. You know what I'm saying? So they got tall athletes that's just all over the court, and they definitely been giving us trouble. So I definitely thought it could get ugly, but this was a great win for us. Straight Facts said, man, them refs definitely tried to keep Arkansas in the game. Yeah, they referees was wild. Like I said, I think the way Arkansas plays is it's so fast paced, so crazy. It's probably officials probably hate, refereeing Arkansas's games, honestly. Because I just, like I said, one of the sports announcers kind of was basically alluding to the fact that these is kind of just how always Arkansas's games seem to go. It's just a lot of fouling and different things like that. And I think it's just from the fast pace. Never cared. Reeves is in a win. Reeves is a win now player. Coach Cal let freshmen play who game ain't developed yet. Yeah, definitely. Cal definitely gonna give the freshmen a chance because that's how Cal make his bread and butter. That's how he keeps getting the recruits that he gets, is he develops them in the best that he can while he's here, and they move on to the NBA and go on to do some decent to great things. But yeah, Reeves kind of started off slow. He had to figure out what he was doing, but it seems like he's got his confidence and his game is going to another level. And we need it because if we're going to make anything happen, we're going to have Reeves. We're going to have Wallace. We're going to have Toppin playing at a high level to support Sheway. And then even Livingston, man, we got to get all these guys ready to go. Town said if we win the tournament, we could be a 5th seed. Yeah, I never thought we would have a chance to be a top seed like that. Well, I don't want to say 5th is a top seed. I consider like 1 to 4 is the top seeds, sort of. But still, 5th seed would be a great way to, cap this off because, I mean, we lost 10 games and we lost some winnable games. We probably could have got 3 of them back if we would have been on point. Definitely we should have been able to beat Vandy. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So that's one of the things too that's just been wild about this whole season. It's just like we said last stream, it's just a roller coaster, We just up and down, up and down, up and down. So it just seems like, from game to game, we never really know what we getting. But when this type of team shows up, they can be scary because I think they said Arkansas only led for like 1 minute of the whole game. So basically Kentucky took control of the game and held it all the way to the end. And, they stepped up and did what they had to do. Laker J24 said, any news on Ugonna Onyenso? I have nothing. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know if Cal just feels like he just ain't ready yet. I don't know if he may be nursing some kind of injury. I have no idea. If y'all know anything, let me know because I have nothing at this point. Shane Baker said, it seems like Arkansas likes to flop and hand check a lot, begging the refs for help. Yes, that's what I said earlier. They super handsy. Like they hold a whole lot. They put their hands up underneath players' arms and on their chest a whole lot and hold them kind of like the way you're supposed to block. Ain't that how you supposed to block in the NFL like that? But that's not how you give it up in basketball. So but yeah, they definitely they foul a lot. It kind of is what it is. But they definitely flop. They definitely foul. It kind of made the game a little ugly. But like we said, we got to give it up to Cal for putting them in that zone. That helped a lot. Kelton Maller said, straight facts. It is the other way. Missed flagrant on Oscar. Yeah, and tossed Devo for walking away. And many missed cows on Kentucky. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think Oscar should have been out of there, man. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Oscar was tripping a little bit right there. He definitely got to watch that because all eyes is going to be on him. And, when he turns them elbows and like he can't swat people off of him because when you make contact with him, they're going to just be like, bro, they're going to think you taking the swing to hit people. So he just got to be careful. Straight Facts said, senior night had the team unfocused. They should have beat Vandy. 100% agree with you. Even when Case and Wallace went down, they still should have beat Vandy. So that was a super disappointing loss. Mallard said referees was the MVP for Kentucky. Nah, I ain't going to say they was an MVP for Kentucky. I think like I said, I think they missed calls on both sides of the ball for sure. Definitely. They missed a lot of calls against Kentucky. They missed some calls that was against Arkansas that helped Kentucky. They just did a bad job, honestly. It happens like that sometimes. I'm just glad we got the W on the road. Slim Reap said Vandy felt like a trap game. It really did. Yep. It did. We came out and I felt like we had just had an amazing high against Auburn, kind of brought the spirit back up, and then it was a setup for us to not be focused. It was, senior night. It was just it was definitely one of those games where Vandy came out and just took one from us that we should have had. We should have been in a better position. We should have been playing this game and not feeling as much urgency as we had to because we should have had already taken care of Vandy. But I liked the fact that we beat Arkansas more than I would have if we would have beat Vandy. So I am happy that we at least got Arkansas though. National champions said good win for us. Absolutely. We needed that one. We need these confident boosters because even though Arkansas kind of fell off, Arkansas was high ranked in the beginning of the season. Arkansas was really like that in the earlier part of the year. So still, I consider Arkansas a good team, no matter what their record says. And I was glad to see us be able to beat them. Never Cared said Chris Livingston had 1 point and 34 minutes. Yes. Chris Livingston definitely. He didn't really do much to help us. I think he played okay defense. Not necessarily great, but it was okay. He missed a couple of buckets that he probably should have got. And he definitely should have made some of his free throws. But overall, he's playing more aggressive. He's still, even though he didn't produce numbers wise, he's still playing better basketball than he was in the beginning of the season. Like I had pointed out earlier, one of his, he was rushing one time when he thought he could make a play and made an outlet pass to Collins, and he didn't really have control of the ball, and it ended up resulting in a turnover and a foul. So he got to calm down sometimes and make sure that, he can take care of the ball, number one, and make sure he's focused. Never Cared said Cal is not a good coach at all. I'm sorry. I got to give him some credit today though, because he definitely made some adjustments that was helpful. So we definitely, when Cal messes it up, we definitely gonna talk about Cal. We ain't gonna hold no punches against Cal when he blows one for us. But today, I don't think he hurt the team. I think he made the proper decisions, the proper adjustments, and it actually helped us today. Lakers Jay said, when we get CJ going, Livingston hitting threes and Toppin, Oscar playing how they are now, we can beat anyone. I agree. Yeah. If Kentucky's hitting on all cylinders, if everybody that plays heavy minutes is playing well, they can be one of the best teams in the country. They have enough to beat anybody. It's just a matter of which team are we going to get. That's the problem. Every single game, we just don't know what we're going to get from our boys. So, Jane Baker said Cal is top 10 in all time in wins, folks. Yeah, Cal. I mean, like I said, when Cal be doing, when Cal lets us down, we're going to definitely talk about it. But today, I ain't going to dog Cal because I feel like, this was a good win for us. Definitely. Brandon Penn said Cal is a Hall of Famer. Just stop. You are not a fan. Nah, Cal is definitely he's stamped for a reason. He definitely the only thing you can really say is that sometimes I think he prioritizes developing basketball players more than he does winning specific games. And that's what makes him look like a bad coach, I think, sometimes. Because, see, like normally in tonight's game, where he went and decided, okay, we're going to run this zone against Arkansas because that's what we need to do to beat Arkansas. Normally, he just stays in the same thing that he teaches in practice. So if he's teaching these guys how to play professional defense in practice, then that's what he expects them to do in the game because he's developing them to go to the pros. So, I would definitely say that he prioritizes development sometimes, and that's why he's lost some of the games that he's lost. And it's difficult because when you got some of these guys and you're trying to get the most out of them for a short period of time, you got to try to teach them a whole lot. Even with some of the guys like we see now, Thero trying to, trying to learn the game same way Livingston had to go through his bumps in the road in the beginning of the season. Excuse me. It's just difficult sometimes to be able to coach them up to where you need them to where, they actually helpful to you in that season. A lot of the times, the things that he teaches them all throughout the season, they don't quite grasp it until like a couple years later. Unfortunately, it's usually when they're in the NBA and you start to be able to see some of the development coming through, some of the things that they was taught, some of the things that they learned here actually come out. But it's just he hasn't been able to quite get it to gel at Kentucky as much as some people would think that he should have. Even though technically, I mean, we got to just be honest. If you're looking at a coach in under 15 years and he gives you a championship and 4 Final Fours, you can't really be mad at that, honestly. It's no real way to really hate on that. It just sucks because a lot of people get caught up in just seeing the finished product of some of these players. And then when you look at all of these players that he coached and you be like, man, they didn't get nothing out of it. So it just happens like that. But today, Cal, we got to give him credit. He made the adjustments. He definitely, he did what we needed him to do to win this game. And we needed it badly. It's going to help us a lot. And if we can get 1 or 2 SEC tournament wins, just to put an extra little stamp on it. I'm with that. If we was to win the SEC tournament, great. And we ain't done that in a little bit. So it would be wonderful for us to grab that and head into the tournament. But yeah, man, impressive win. The Cats played well today. The game was sloppy. Never Carey said Cal would be the worst coach in the NBA, period. He tried his hand at the NBA, and I think he had a playoff team. I think he took the Nets to the playoffs. He didn't have much success in the NBA, but he did. I think he did take. He had a couple of seasons where he went to the playoffs. So we gotta give him a little bit of credit for that. Brandon Penn said Tom Izzy won in the 90s and still gets mad love. Yes, he does. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I get into it with a lot of players, when I be defending Calipari, I bring up Tom Izzo. And but everybody always says that Tom Izzo they basically say Tom Izzo doesn't win because he doesn't get top-notch talent. But to me, I feel like that's just a part of college coaching. Like, you got to go out and get the talent that you need to win. So it's not your fault that you don't get talent, but it's not another coach's fault that they do. Excuse me again. So that's just a part of the game. Like, you got to recruit 5-star players. You got to try to get the best talent. Or if you don't get it, then you got to just live with your results. So, we could say, is Tom Izzo better than Cal or not? Who knows? But their resumes are pretty similar. I think Cal's got 6 Final Fours and 1 championship. I think Tom Izzo has 1 championship and 8 Final Fours, if I remember correctly. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong about that. But, I think Tom Izzo, if he can't get the players, that's on him. It kind of is what it is. Never Curious said he develops players way better. I definitely won't say I agree with that, because maybe maybe he gets to use them longer in college. They don't go to the pros as fast. But the players that do leave Tom Izzo's program and go to the pros, he only really done had a couple of guys that really made some impact. He had Zach Randolph. He made some impact. Who else will we say? Miles Bridges is okay. He's all right. He's pretty decent. He ain't really making the hell of an impact, but he's decent. Trying to think. Draymond Green is okay. I mean, he's not great, but he's all right. So, he got a couple of dudes, but he really ain't doing too much, though. But like I said, it's not Calipari's fault that he doesn't get Jaren Jackson Jr. Yeah. So, anyways, man, listen, I didn't really want to turn it into a who's the best coach between Calipari and Izzo. I'm going to stay out of that debate. Y'all can continue to have that one if you want. I'm just happy that today my boys got the W. Calipari definitely made the right adjustments today. So today I'm going to give Calipari the credit he deserves. And hopefully, this team will start to get hot and make some noise. We'll see. Got to see how the rest of this tournament seating. I ain't looked at the tournament seating yet, so I got to see how it's shaping up and see who we got coming up next, man. But anyways, I'm going to go on and let y'all go. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, and I will see y'all on the next one, Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend, and take it easy.